Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to Soul Speak. This week, Maxine's actually had to cancel our video on Wednesday because she's got toothache, bless her. So let's all send some healing in the direction of Maxine and hope that she gets better super, super quickly. So what I decided I was going to do is I'm going to do some videos, which I was going to do anyway, but I'm going to pop some out in place of that. So the reason I've called this one Soul Speak is a couple of weeks ago, you may remember I actually had a soul path attunement with a gentleman called Peter. Now, Peter's details are going to be in the description of this video. The reason I decided to call it Soul Speak is because it's very much about your soul path. What he basically does is he taps into the Akashic records and downloads all of this information about you, where you've come from, what you're doing, you know, what your characteristics are, who your guardian angel is, things like that, who your guides are, and then basically shares with you that kind of process. So one of my friends, Michelle Wilkie, actually mentioned about him. And I think, if I remember rightly, she mentioned him and I just completely ignored it because that's what I do. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I remember about that. So I'm going to go and do that now. And so, yeah, I booked in a session with him and we had a conversation on the phone and we instantly gelled. He's such a lovely man, very awake to the situation that's going on around the world, very comfortable, confident, you know, just a really, really genuine, nice guy. So this process actually takes a couple of weeks from when you book in to when you actually have the session with him, because it's actually quite a lot for him to do in the interim period of time. So whereas I go and tap into the Akashic records and I download stuff and I'll just share bits and pieces, he actually like downloads your you know, your soul path and whether you're on it in this lifetime. Now, he does do past life regression and things like that, but this is not one of those. So just to let you guys know, this is not a past life regression. Okay, this is very much about your soul path and if you need any attunements to get you onto your soul path. So like I say, I've explained the process. So if you decide to book in with him, I'm going to pop all of his details in. He has said that I can do that, so I'm going to pop all of his details in. What I would do is first and foremost reach out to him, whether that be on email or message or on his website, and literally just say, can I have a chat about booking a soul path attunement? Then you can have a conversation. Now, luckily, all of my followers are like the Wide Awake Club, so there won't be any issues of, you know, from getting each other perspective. Not that you have to be awake for this stuff, just so that you know. But it's always makes it a bit easier, doesn't it, when you can have really open, honest conversations about these things. So reach out to him, book a session. It's £200. You'll be on the phone. Well, he told me I'd be 2 hours. We were on the phone for 3, maybe even more than that. And I'd already had a call with him. So, you know, but it was a very, very interesting session. So like I say, we had a phone call. He told me he was going to download all of this stuff on a particular day. And he said, you know, you might feel something. Obviously, me being sensitive, I feel everything. So if you're a little bit of an empath, or I mean, we're all empaths, let's be honest about it. Everybody is. Some people remember, some people don't. So, you know, you may feel that there's some like little mooching about in your records going on. But it's okay. It's not going to cause you any problems. And then you will basically get a document like this. Okay. And I've actually highlighted some of this, but it's a big document. I'm not going to take you through it all, but I'm going to take you through some of it because I think it will make you laugh quite how in alignment I am to what my destiny was this lifetime, which is very, very interesting. So we got on the phone. I can't even remember when it was now, a week or so ago. We got on the phone and he said to me, oh, you're a very special person, aren't you? And I was like, oh, I like to think so. Thank you. So basically, he goes through a load of different things, and I'm not going to go through everything, but he'll tell you if you are literally a mono soul, or if your soul is shared. So for example, if you've got walk-ins or things like that, which is really, really interesting, they will identify where your blocks are. potential blocks to bring in things for the reading. Again, very, very interesting. They will tell you if you are of a positive soul or if you have some, negative aspects, i.e. causing disruption and things like that this lifetime. Which is very interesting. And actually he's put on my notes here, the soul does not contribute disruption towards divine source at this time. So I'm a pure soul that is, just channeling the good at this time, which is just amazing. It's a nice little validation, isn't it? Even though I didn't need it, it's a nice little validation. So basically, I'm going to take you through some of the primary attributes because I think this might be really interesting for you guys to hear. So one of the primary attributes that came up loud and clear, and I have mentioned this once before in a video, you are here to show the rest of us how powerful we are as creators of our own experience. What do I bang on about constantly? What do I bang on about constantly? Everything you're living, everything that you're experiencing, it's your own doing, it's your own choices. And this guy didn't know me from Adam, by the way. So yeah, basically, you're here to show the rest of us how powerful we are as creators of our own experience and that we have access to divine power through free will and choice. It's almost like, he knows me, right? Your energy is all about doing and being whatever you want without limitation. I think it's fair to say, isn't it? Having freedom of choice is incredibly important to you. And the essence of freedom is one of your most important values, which at this point I started giggling my head off. And he said, "Oh, does that resonate? Or are you laughing because it's like so far from the truth?" And I said, no, I am absolutely all about freedom. As soon as I quit my corporate job, and this is for you guys, this isn't what I said to him, but as soon as I quit my corporate job, I traveled the world constantly until we got locked down. Like that was me. It was all about freedom. It was all about choices. It was all about, just being able to do, create the abundance so that you could live as free as possible. And I do truly believe, like, most people are under an illusion that they've had freedom. I actually truly believe that for the last 2 years before we got locked down, I truly believe that I lived freedom. I had no job. I had no home per se. I had no car per se. I had income because I was just creating stuff on the road. I was doing that kind of stuff. And I truly believe that I had what I would call freedom and what most people perceive that they have, but most people don't have that because they've got the commitment of work or the mortgage or something like that. So I am very much about freedom. And if you remember what I was doing through 2020 is I was actually speaking at all of the freedom marches because I'm so passionate about freedom. I don't care what freedom looks like to you. I don't care. As long as you've got it, I'm happy for you and you deserve it. I do not feel that anybody should have any of their choices taken away. Like for me, I am a massive advocate. I am one of the biggest advocates of freedom, whatever that looks like. Even if it's not what I call freedom, I'm an advocate for you having exactly what it is that you see fit for your life. So I laughed a lot when he said that it was one of my top values. There's other things that he said, but he in his notes, he put, you have an innate understanding of energy, which is true. Intuitive or psychic or both. Tick. You show the rest of us our divine power through use of intuition and manifestation. You manifest extremely quickly and powerfully, and this means that when aligned, you create results in warp speed. You are highly independent and strong-willed. Huh? Who, me? Me? Never. Anyone that knows me will be like, oh my God, this guy has got her number. You hate being stuck in situations where you feel you have no choice or stuck with an obligation. Guilty. You take action more easily than most because you understand that only making choices creates new experiences. And this is very, very true. I see something and I will do it. I don't wait for somebody else to do it for me because I know that that's never going to happen. I'm an action taker, and it pisses off most of my clients and most of my followers because I am such an action taker, and quite unreasonably, I expect everybody else to do the same. And it's unreasonable because I know that that is a part of my soul that a lot of people do not have. You embrace change more readily than most people, and when empowered, you become the driving force behind the change, and you create what you want consciously. You are a natural leader and an entrepreneur. Like, literally, this is just me verbatim, right? It's so interesting. This is still in the attributes, by the way. So this is a very interesting one, and you guys might not know this about me, but I think it's very interesting to share. So it says you may get stuck with too many possibilities, none of which you want to rule out because you don't want to close any doors, and then you can't make a decision about your next steps. This is so me. I get offered so many opportunities, so many speaking gigs, all of these different things. And then I'm like, it's almost like a computer can't cope. So I just kind of go, and then the right people I know will re-engage with me. So it's a very interesting thing that he brought up there. You may find yourself frequently frustrated with the pace of other people. I used to be like that in the car, but it's not so much that anymore. For me, I'm like, why are you searching for validation? Constantly, I'm saying to people, why are you searching for validation? Like, you know, it's come out of your mouth. You know it. You feel it. You just told me you feel it. Like, why are you waiting for validation? Go with it. Surrender. Very, very interesting. So it's absolutely, absolutely on point. You take action very fast and get a lot done. And most people seem slow and lethargic in comparison. Now, I used to have a business. I used to be in network marketing, and all of my team used to say to me, is there like 8 of you, Lucy? Because you get so much done. Like, is there like 8 of you working behind the scenes? And so that resonates a lot. This was very interesting. You must put yourself in a leadership role where taking responsibility is both rewarded and appropriate. Now, I often find myself in a leader role. And one of my friends, Carrie, I don't know if she'll watch this video, but hopefully she will do. I met her at a health coaching retreat kind of thing. Like, we went and stayed over at someone's house and did this health coaching seminar. And what was very interesting is I didn't know anybody there at all. Like, a few of them knew each other, but I didn't know anybody at all. And within minutes, basically, they'd gone, Lucy, can you lead this because you know what you're doing? Like, it's just, that's kind of the role that always gets carved out for me. So, which is very interesting. So I do naturally step into a leadership role. If you do not honor your need for alone time, you may find yourself getting resentful of people taking up your time. So true. So true. Not so much now because I make sure that I get my alone time, but it definitely in the last few years that resonates. Your energetic sensitivity, if not managed, can cause you to become excessively reclusive. When I used to travel the world, every now and again, I would literally just disappear. I would go and disappear into like a monastery, for example, and I would just be happy, sat in meditation on my own. I would quite often just disassociate from people. Brazil's popping in my head at the moment. I literally just wanted to be on my own. People were too loud for me. Very interesting. And again, one of my guy friends got quite offended with me because I was like, I can't be around loud people. And I think he thought I was being a bit of a bitch, when in reality, I am so sensitive. Like, people talk about being empathic. I don't really talk about that too often. I do say, oh yeah, I understand, but I don't really talk about it too often. But it can literally change me massively. And then I have to step back and I have to recluse, which was very, very interesting. So the second part of the reading was about like where your soul group of origin is, which is very, very interesting. So this is kind of like the star systems, the galactics. Okay. So I'm an Alpha Centauri. And basically what it says is they are technical, analytical, great problem solvers, and often possess a very disciplined work ethic, which is me to a T. Absolutely me to a T. Highly practical with a strong emphasis on functionality. Now, I've recently had some feedback from a CEO in America about my course, my Self-Love Club membership course. And she said, I've done hundreds of courses over the time. You know, being a CEO, I get exposed to a lot of these courses. Lucy's courses is the most, I can't remember the word she used, but basically functional. You know, it works really well. The combination of how it works and the setup and how easy it is to follow, like it's really methodical. And so that resonates quite a lot as well. It's very, very interesting. Strong, steadfast people that roll their sleeves up and do what needs to be done. I'm happy to get my hands dirty, as you probably would have noticed. Protective and excellent providers for their family, again, which is a good point. Oh, this is really interesting because this is me to a T. Some Alpha Centaurans become expert at helping others sort out their feelings and emotional bodies because they do not engage in the drama and intensity of the emotional body as others do. This is something that's coming up loads for me at the moment. You know, I know in spirit world, I am a professor of human behavior. Like I watch people from a psychiatric perspective and a psychological perspective, you know, so I can tap into what people are feeling and how they're feeling and how it's working out in their body. And I can see things, as you guys know, when I'm working with people and I know that they've got all these health issues, like I'm dissecting, I'm downloading everything that's going on from an emotional trauma perspective with them, because that's what it's premised for in this realm, you know, in this level of consciousness. So, you know, this is when I do my one-to-ones with people, even when I'm not doing a one-to-one with people, but I'm listening, I'm just like, wow, I'm just getting all of these downloads. But people take that for granted. People take that for granted. There are a lot of people out there that think that they're better, and I'm not better than anybody. I just bring a certain skill set to this party. You know, like I know that I'm a leader this lifetime. I know that I'm a communicator this lifetime. I know I'm here to help the human race heal and ascend. Like I know I'm here to do that. I know I'm here to remind you guys of your eternal truth. If you read, I did an article for somebody's course once, and in there I basically put, I am the reminder of the eternal truth. Long story short, that's what I am here to do. Remind you of your eternal truth, whatever that looks like. So the next section of the soul path reading went into, you know, the archangels. So basically, who is your archangel? If you've got one, if you don't have one, like who it is that basically feeds into you. And very, very interestingly, Michael, the warrior, is my archangel, the training that I got to come through. So those trained in this realm are spiritual warriors wielding the sword of truth. Humans seek out their protection, yet often cringe with the absolute truth that they bring through. Now, this is very interesting. A lot of my friends, when I was about 30, maybe between about 25 and 35, used to say to me, God, Lucy, you're so brutal. Oh my God, you're so brutal. But actually, I was just standing in my truth. But of course, it offends people. It really does offend people. We live in a world where such truth is seldom welcome. Those who speak such truths are often harshly treated. Fair to say. People, the people that have been trained in this realm want to speak their truth and they want to be heard, which is reasonable. They can also feel very taken advantage of in a world where their protection is sought out and valued, and yet when there is a need to stand up for truth, they find themselves standing alone. Oh, I think we can all agree on that over the last few years, can't we? And that's not me playing victim, by the way. Like there's been so many times where I have been stood there like beating the drum on certain things, and people will hear my words and they'll go and take them as their own, and it's very, very interesting. And also, you know, I've become very, I'm not reactionary at all anymore. You know, people can be having a hissy fit. People can be really showing their true colors, and I can do poker face. You know, I can do poker face these days. Whereas before I would have been like, Do you think you are? Now I'm like, I don't need to get involved in that, because I know it's not me. I know that people's reactions stem 100% from themselves. And that is a gift. That is a gift. And often when these things happen, it's very, very interesting, because people start to see people in their true colors. So there's many other things that happen. They give you percentages of your consciousness and things like that. Your primary lesson. So my primary lesson this lifetime is about partnership, which is so interesting. I actually thought it was patience. Genuinely, I really thought it was patience, but the primary lesson is partnership, which is very interesting, because I actually said to Peter, well, that's really interesting, Peter, because I seem to be blocking myself from a relationship perspective. And he was like, that's because it's your lesson to learn. So you're almost like looking to get everything else finalized before you step into this, revolutionary partnership that we all know that I'm going to have. So I thought that was really beautiful. But also there was something in my past lives, or someone who I know in this lifetime, interestingly enough, who's been blocking me from meeting that person. They've been blocking me, not consciously on their side, but it's an old contract that we had between each other, and it had to be broken. So now that's been broken, and very, very powerful stuff. So that's all I'm going to share with you guys. He does go into the blocks and restrictions that may have been involved in the accuracy. He goes on about chakras. He goes on about lots of other different bits and pieces. He talks about karmic patterns and things like that. It's very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. So the reason I wanted to talk about this today is, if you are lost, if you are somebody that's like, oh, I just want to know, or maybe you want to do a little bit of soul searching, or you want to be able to tap into your soul a little bit more, it's a great tool for you. It's a great, great tool for you. Peter is a great guy. Like I said, I'm going to pop his details in. Maybe one day I'll get him on here to do a video with me. But right now, the best that I can do, the best that I can offer you is obviously me delivering this message. So if you are ready to go on your journey to learn how to speak to your soul a little bit more, maybe you've got some things that are blocking you from, finding your fundamental path, please do give Peter a shout. And if you've got any questions, guys, I'm more than happy to answer them in the comments below. And I can obviously guide you or whatever on this journey. It's so exciting what is coming for us. It's so exciting what we've got to tap into. It's very, very exciting that we've got these tools and these incredible people that can help us do this. I get downloads on people's souls as I'm speaking to them, but it's not formalized. Like, people like formal, they like documents, and I'm not that person. I just channel it and it comes out my mouth, and then it's with you, because I do the intuitive and that kind of stuff. So and tap into my psychic, even though I used to tell everyone I wasn't psychic. So Peter's details are below. Also, my details are below. If you want to do a reading with me, if you would like to do a one-to-one session with me, all you need to do is go on my website and book a slot, and that will be there for you. I'm going to tap back to a video that I did last week. And ladies and gents, I hope that you really enjoy it. I'm sending you so much love and light on your journey. And I just want to remind you, we've got this. All right. See you in the next video, guys.